Steve, vodka and eggnog is by far the best mistake I've ever made in my life. But that snow woman did not feel good.
Whatever happened to that snow woman?
So what I did was I took the carrot off of her head.
Hey,
What's going on, everybody? My name is Jeff Stevenson, and I'm here with Steve Jefferson.
And welcome to Box News, the only news program that gets you squared away.
That's right, folks, squared away. We give you the hard-hitting news stories that other news stories won't touch. News stories that we can't believe are real, but are in fact 110% real. And today is our Christmas episode, so we're going to be giving you all kinds of fantastic stories that are all winter related in some way, shape, or form. Ladies and gentlemen, our first story of the evening is the first installment of our very new segment, Science Ruins Everything. Now you see, if you ask your pastors, your neighbors, your friends protesting down at the Starbucks, or your 80-year-old grandmother, you've probably heard the phrase, war on Christmas. Well, I'm afraid science has decided to go under fire by deciding to join the ranks of those that are having a war on Christmas, by destroying something that I once held sacred, a little article of my childhood. Now you see, it turns out that reindeer, the real ones, not the flying ones, that, side note, used to give me nightmares. I used to be terrified that they'd be sitting on my roof, and my roof would cave in and I would die. And that's why I stayed up all night long every Christmas Eve. Yet I never heard the jingle bells, or saw Santa. But the point is, reindeer are actually real. They live up north. And they're very different from the deer that we see around here normally. You see, male deer around here, the whitetails and etc., usually have very large antlers for both mating purposes as well as fighting other male deers. However, reindeer up north exhibit a very interesting quality, a very similar quality to male and female humans. You see, in both humans and reindeer, the males are the ones that are actually attracted to women with the big racks. That's right, in reindeer, the female deers are actually the ones that have the antlers and retain those antlers throughout the winter, completely destroying every single Christmas book you ever read in your entire life. Donner, Dasher, Comet, Cupid, the rest of the frickin' reindeer, they're all actually women, they're not males. Now, this opens up a lot of doors, and I cannot wait to see the Rule 34 that's going to come circulating now of Rudolph and Hermie the Elf. Next time on Science Ruins Everything, we find out that if Santa Claus actually drank a glass of milk at every single house he went to, he would explode by 1 a.m. Steve?
Thank you very much, Jeff. And on to our next story. Surprisingly about Six Flags, an amusement park franchise that you may have forgotten about. They're known, if you remember, way back when, the old man dancing outside the bus. That's honestly the last time I've ever heard of Six Flags, but they're back in the news because of an ironic cancellation. Now, a Six Flags in Georgia had a massive snowball fight planned for the community. Over 1,000 people were meant to attend this snowball fight. Unfortunately, the park was closed on the day of the snowball fight because of the giant snowstorm that went across the south this past week. Now, obviously, it's not the park's fault this ironic twist happened to them. I mean, Georgia does not see snow very often, and when they do, it certainly does not come in December. It's just a cruel, ironic story that just so happened because of the giant snowstorm. So yes, a snowball fight. They had artificial snowballs prepared. A snowball fight was canceled because of snowfall. Let me give you a moment to soak that in. This is like a comedy club canceling open mic night because an actual comedian showed up. It's like someone came out of the church and said, cancel the bake sale, someone actually baked a cake for this thing. Or the owners of an artificial beach said, sorry, the artificial beach is closed because some jackass poured actual sand over on the south side, so unfortunately we're not allowed to open it. Now, once again, in all seriousness, the park was closed, so there's nothing they could have done. All park events were canceled and all that. I'm just saying, let's have a little fun with the irony of this situation. Jeff, back to you. Now, folks, it's with a heavy heart that we have to say this might be the final time you'll be able to see us.
That's right, folks. Unfortunately, I must change hats. Because there's a conspiracy afoot. In today's rant. You see, folks, it just wouldn't be the holidays without the government trying to shove its big, girthy genitalia up our collective rectums. Unfortunately, today, I must talk to you about the FCC. Now, how is this holiday related? Well, I'm sure you all like to shop your online catalogs because Amazon Prime likes to destroy people like me that work retail. Thank you. But you see, unfortunately, the FCC could be changing all of this. Free internet, as we see it now, could be over with, depending on how the next few months go. You see, I'm sure everyone knows what's going on. But in case you live under a rock, let me explain to you. You see, the FCC is a committee run by 5 people with one chairman, and I'm going to mispronounce this name, mostly on purpose, but Ajit Pai. Now, you see, Ajit Pai is the head commissioner of the FCC. Like I said before, 5-person committee with him on the head. Unfortunately, this committee decided to vote 3-2 to appeal net neutrality, which was a list of rules and regulations that were supposed to limit ISPs and etc., companies, corporations, from really restricting our internet usage, leaving the internet as a utility such as water or electric. Something that, yes, other companies do put out for. You have Verizon, Fios, Comcast, just as you have Dominion and Rappahannock Power. However, we got to choose which provider we went with the exception of Power, of course. We could choose Fios, we could choose Cox, we could choose Comcast. And while those choices may still lie, we got to choose based on pricing. But what we got for that price remained the same. All of that might be changing in the coming years. Now let's be honest here. There was a majority approval rating for net neutrality. The majority of America wanted to keep the net neutrality rules in place. And this country has never once gone away from the majority, except for the 2 times in the past election. Not the best example. But you see, this is not some 51-49 majority. This is not some 52-48. This was an 83% approval rating for net neutrality, which means 3 out of 5 people went with the 27% that was okay or wanted us to get rid of these restrictions. Now, Ashtray Pajama Boy here should probably be on Philip DeFranco's douchebag of the day for the next 365 days at least. This man went on multiple rants belittling millennials on their online usage, going so far as to create a video. And I'll be honest, when I first saw it, I thought it was a Key and Peele skit, until I realized that this chauvinistic asshole actually feels that way about people my age. And the fact that my generation has been boiled down to a bunch of memes is uncomfortably accurate. But there is hope, as this must now go to the Supreme Court. And there, they've already been beaten twice. But you see, the Supreme Court has never once gone against the majority. Oh wait, that's also not true. But I know people are probably freaking out, but we have to remain hopeful. Call your senators. Call your representatives. You might have to leave a voicemail, because let's be honest, rich people don't like to answer their phones, and most of them are so old they probably don't know how to text. But the point is, you can leave a voicemail. They might know how that works. But we may still have hope at the state and local levels, because many states, including Virginia, have actually decided to rally together and have put forth a lawsuit against the FCC on the basis of investigating the FCC's public comments process. Now, I have no idea what the hell that means, but I'm hoping it's something good with a lot of footing. Any of you guys that have law degrees, please DM me and let me know. This gets a lot weirder. And why I have this tinfoil hat on here is because there's a very big conspiracy. Now, I have an anonymous friend who relayed this information to me this morning. You see, he posted a status asking everyone to please defend net neutrality. However, someone then commented at about 3 a.m. a post explaining everything that net neutrality was, so that people that saw his status could have a better understanding and be better informed. Immediately upon posting that status was marked as spam. He released that from the spam folder that Facebook had created. Unfortunately, it immediately went back to spam. And then upon doing it 2 more times, the comment deleted itself. Now, I'm not one to jump on the conspiracy bandwagon regardless of the fact that I had a tinfoil hat already prepared. But you see, this is very, very dangerous. Because FCC has only been repealed for one day and it hasn't even been official yet, and censorship already seems to be taking effect. Now, in the defense of the FCC that I have seen, is that prior to 2015, when these rules were in place in the first place, we didn't have a lot of wide-scale panic. We didn't have a lot of bundles and packages. But that's because there was the legality and what was legal, what they could do, what they could get away with was kind of muddy. And so they didn't know, can we do this? Can we not do this? Oh, we can't do this? Oh, we understand. But it was never specified. So the FCC created net neutrality to specify the restrictions. If that's gone, there's nothing stopping them now. The muddy waters that we had before, they become even muddier. And sometimes what was illegal before now is actually legal. That's actually something that Ashtray here actually wants to implement. They can actually do this. People seem to not be listening to exactly what he's saying. Now, I'm going to get a little serious here. And I'm going to drop the character for a moment. Ashtray Pajama Boy, as a millennial, I would like to tell you that we are not going to stop fighting. We are going to fight the FCC every step of the way. We here at Fox News exist solely for entertainment purposes, but we also want to spread information as well. That's why we created this show, and we'll continue to put this show out of there. But you see, the YouTube community is the first one that's going to get hit. Entertainment packages are going to be the first premiums. Any of you that are online gamers here are going to get hit. But you see, Ashanti, we are going to fight. We're going to contact our senators. We're going to contact Congress. We're going to contact our Supreme Court reps. Those that know how to work their cell phones, we're going to reach out to them. And you're not going to win. We'll make sure of that. Steve? And back to funny. That's right, folks. We're going to the lightning round. Everyone's favorite, the lightning round. It's how we end every show. Now, for those of you guys that are new, the lightning round is where we take headlines, and strictly the headlines, and make a really funny, witty remark about them. You ready, Steve?
I'm never ready.
There we go. That handshake was a whole lot better than last time. I don't know what the hell you were thinking.
I watched an internet video.
On handshakes?
Yes, I did.
Well, very well, folks. You can find anything on the internet. Ashad. Story number 1. You can now get your boyfriend's face 3D printed on sex toys for Christmas. And women everywhere celebrate their boyfriends finally going down on them.
I'll tell you what, Jeff, I'm not touching this one. Literally.
Authorities frustrated by cow that keeps escaping church nativity scene. Now, I believe this headline is being very unfair to Mary. She just gave birth to Jesus Christ our Lord. She's going to want to get away, and she's going to have some baby weight.
Folks, PETA has been harassing people since biblical times. It's time to put an end to it.
Story number 3. Sex between snow monkeys and cicadere may be new behavioral trait. And we have finally found the slippery slope that they all warned us about.
Yes, nature has gone too far.
And our final story of the evening. Photo surface of Bills fan buried under snow during Snowball against the New York Jets. And that is not the craziest thing I've ever seen a Bills fan do.
Oh, Jeff, they should have circled the wagons a little bit longer.
Bills Mafia. And that, folks, is the end of our show and the end of this year's episodes. That's right, folks. We will be returning to you guys in the new year. But before we go, Steve, I brought you a present.
Did you really?
That's right. Merry Christmas.
Oh, thanks, man. That's so thoughtful of you.
Did you get me one?
Yeah, because I'm made of money.
Well, folks, he's fired. That means you guys might be hired. Please leave your resumes down in the comments section below if you want to be my host for next season.
Wait, what?
That's right. Peace!